right. So I'm here with the Barrel Stove Combo. We're back here in the green room at the Remington. I'm here with Vinnie, Rebecca, and Eric, and we're going to talk a little bit about their band. So you guys are a three-piece jazz band, and you've been together for like 20 years. So can you kind of tell me how y'all got together?
Well, Purple Frog Guards used to do this party where it was salsa days, and I was working with Mike Joe Peck on a political campaign, and he said, bring your drums down to our party because it did like an open mic. And then I met Eric there, and then we all kind of like met. So that he knew this other guy, David, and that's in our bio, the experimental folk band we talk about, and David Knopfsinger. And then we kind of like were in a band together there, and Rebecca joined that band on flute and saxophone, started playing her saxophone a little bit shortly after that. And then we were playing in that band with a bass player, and the bass player quit, or sort of. He went and joined another band, and Eric picked up an 8-string guitar, which was pretty revolutionary at the time.
Yeah.
And then
the OG story.
So he started playing. That has 3 bass strings and 5 guitar strings. So he started playing that, and that kind of mimics kind of an organ sound. So you see in a lot of jazz bands, there's an organ trio, and there's not a bass. It's an organ trio, a lead instrument, and then a drums. And so we kind of took that approach and made it our own.
So when you guys got together all those years ago, I guess maybe first, could you tell me a little about the folk band you were in and kind of like what that was like?
So it was all built around this guy, David Knopfsinger, who was the songwriter, and I had started working with him, and as Vinnie mentioned, he kind of folded in, and then we brought Rebecca in. And it was all written around, or all put together around David's songs, and so we were kind of building parts up around that. Not very jazzy, but we all are fans of jazz, so we brought a lot of jazz influence into that. I guess that was probably where we started realizing things like In a Silent Way, we started playing Miles Davis tunes as background to some of his raps and songs.
The parts were pretty improvisational in that band.
Yeah.
And you guys were
Yeah, that's true. I had more fixed parts. But yeah, so that kind of gave us the chance to work out together and get to know each other musically. Gave me a chance to pick up the 8-string when the bass player left. That I'd been kind of looking for an excuse to spend a lot of money on a guitar, and I found it. And it was a great project.
Always nice to have an excuse to spend a bunch of money on a guitar.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Not that we really need the excuse, but...
So I guess you guys were just pretty drawn to jazz, and you started noticing that you all liked it?
I had grown up playing it. I play saxophone as well, and so I played in jazz band in high school and junior high. And I don't know what your guys' exposure to jazz was, but I'm always looking for ways to play it.
Yeah, I was always interested in it, and I actually tried to get involved in college, and at the time I was just playing flute, and it was more of a classical emphasis. I think I tried to get into a class, and the instructor said that they had too many saxophones already doubling on flute.
Oh.
So I felt like I didn't have an in there, and I kind of let that defeat me for a while, which I shouldn't have, but then, it wasn't until much later that I just, became self-taught, and that, I didn't pick up the sax until after
the folk band.
And when we started playing together.
Yeah, that's I forget that in the beginning you were mostly flute with this band, and the saxophone started working in.
Right.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, both are really fun instruments. Yeah, especially jazz flute. It's so like different and lively. How was that transition for you, but from classical to jazz?
Because I listened to jazz, and because working with David and that band was just a great steps down, because it was really improvisational. It wasn't jazz, but it was just, it felt more free to improvise. And there were some other bands that we tried. And so, that was a stepping stone. And just, I am not formally trained in jazz, because some people really spend a good chunk of their lives studying it, and I cannot say that I'm one of those people. I don't know, just bring what I enjoy about it into the way I perform, which is not highly technical, but the lyricism and everything is what I like.
Yeah, it was very fun. I've seen you perform before with 20 Grand, and it's so just makes me want to get up and dance, you know. So when you guys got together, what were some of the tunes that you drew from for inspiration?
Played a lot of Miles Davis.
Yeah.
And we played did some Simple Coltrane songs.
I think of the
Lynn Shorter right away, probably.
50s, 60s era jazz, kind of the what I think of as
Hard
the
bop.
blue note years. Yeah, the hard bop.
Mm-hmm.
We all kind of gravitate towards that time period, so a lot of stuff out of there. Yeah, a lot of Miles Davis still in our repertoire.
We also try to stretch out to find some Latin tunes.
Yeah.
Push that kind of angle with things we can do when we're doing standards. Not necessarily the stuff we write or he writes.
And every once in a while, we try to mix in pop songs. Not very often, but we'll cover Nirvana every once in a while or things like that.
Yeah. So Nirvana, you said?
Mm-hmm.
And so you're the songwriter for this group, is that right?
Primarily, yeah.
Yeah. What inspires you to write?
It comes in waves and long troughs of no activity, but yeah, sometimes I just get hit with a bunch of ideas and I sit down and practice, and usually it starts with riffs, so I'm kind of practicing guitar and I'll just start coming up with ideas and refining those a little bit more, and eventually they grow into songs. Sometimes it comes and I'll get like 3 or 4 at once, and then I may not be inspired again for another year. Yeah, it's not very predictable, and I try to recognize when it's happening and get on that wave and ride it for as long as I can.
Yeah.
It's been a little while since I've had a good one for this band. I haven't written a lot of material in the last couple of years.
We were digging up a few that we hadn't played for a while.
Yeah.
Sure. Oh, yeah, this
Getting
one's
into the archives.
Yeah. Do you know how many original songs you've written for this group?
Dozen, maybe 15, something like that, probably. Yeah. Maybe
Yeah.
more. Some have just fallen off over the years.
That sounds like enough for an album. Do you ever think about recording this stuff?
This has been a long-running thing with us. I don't know if we'll ever record. We keep trying to. Every few years we make an effort at it, and it's hard to schedule it in with everyone's time, and it hasn't gone well so far. But someday I'd love to
Yeah.
get some of the stuff down. So.
Totally. Because you guys are all in other groups. Do you mind? I'll just kind of go down the row. What other groups are you in?
So I play with both of these guys also in 20 Grand. I play saxophone in that band primarily, and I play keyboards in Hot Damn also with these guys.
currently this 20 grand and Hot Damn.
Nice. Okay, Vinnie, I'm going to ask you your list again.
Those 3 bands that they just mentioned. I've been in the band Predactor Project. It's kind of like a Big Fork thrash funk jam band that's been around for 20 years. I've been in that band for 12, 13 years. And then Moonshine Mountain, we do some reunion shows here and there. I was in that band for a long time. We don't play that often. Surf Bat, I'm in that band. It's a post-rock trio, no vocals. That's just a couple years old. What am I missing? I play with a DJ buddy of mine, Analog Armada, not very often.
Did you say Moonshine?
Billy Billy?
Billy Billy.
And Billy
of course.
Billy. We're gigging a lot. And you press play people know.
Yeah. We're familiar with Billy Billy.
And
Yeah.
then am I missing? What am I missing?
What's the group that you guys are in before Billy Billy?
That was Honey Bandit.
Honey, yeah.
Rest in peace. Things happen.
Yeah.
The average lifespan for a band is 2.5 years, and we hit that. So yeah, it is what it is. And then what am I missing? I don't remember. And then I've just tried to do my own thing. Sometimes I started a new project on my own, where I play left-hand synth bass and I play one-hand drums. So I wrote an album this winter of that music, and so I'm slow pedaling the introduction of that to the Valley, and having fun doing that. Writing my own songs in my own way, you know. Like I love playing Eric's songs, and I love playing the originals in 20 Grand. We do, and that's the first time I've been able to write my own music for any project, and so be on the lookout for that.
Yeah. What brings you back to this one in particular, this band?
Friendship is the basis of it.
Yeah.
We all are really good friends, and so we understand. Yeah.
Oh.
We're like the best of friends over there.
Truly, yeah.
They aren't married. We are. We communicate really well. We get along really well.
Yeah, we've had a similar approach to music, I'd say, over the years. That it's just been very easy for us to work with each other.
Yeah.
We're all pretty responsible. We show up and do our stuff. which is always nice to find a good group of people to do that with.
Eric has to put up with a couple dynamics once in a while.
Not very often. It's 20 years as a third wheel. Be my next book.
It is hard though. I mean, not hard, but it's hard to find out the ways to make it work. And we've been doing it for a long time. And I know Eric's rhythm of his life, and I know what he does, and I know when he's ready to practice or when he's too busy to book a gig. And I know, and I don't have to there's no conflict. And Rebecca, I know the same. I know when she's because I do a lot of the booking, and I know not to push, and I know what makes sense and what feels good.
It always seems like it's a group that's easy to come together, and we just kind of find the center of the music, even if we don't have a lot of rehearsal time. Sometimes we don't add a lot of tunes to the repertoire. It'll be a while before we do that, but we keep coming back to. I mean, that's kind of the beauty of jazz. It's like you can just keep exploring tunes in
Come back to
different
the
ways.
same song in a different way. We've had lots of ups and downs as a band over 20 years too. Periods where there was one year where I think we didn't play a single gig for 12 months.
Right.
For a variety of reasons. But then we come back and everybody kind of comes in with a fresh perspective and it's new and exciting again. So yeah, a lot of this over the years.
Well, where you guys are right now, you mentioned you kind of just fall into it. You don't have to rehearse too much. Do you guys have to rehearse that much? Is that kind of a perk of...
Just had our once annual rehearsal. Try to do at least once a year.
Yeah.
I think we'll get 2 this year. It's going to be exciting.
Wow.
We're gearing up for this production. Performance.
Yeah.
That's right, inspiring us.
Very nice. So what other kind of gigs do you guys play?
Mostly, I would say restaurants, cocktail hours, bars, but not the late night bars like the Remington or the that kind of stuff. A lot of dinner hour type gigs, cocktail hours.
Some benefits here and there.
Yeah, private events,
wedding.
weddings every once in a while we'll pick up.
People want to do a cocktail hour for their wedding if they're smart and cool. They'll hire a jazz band.
Jazz band for the cocktail hour. That's right.
They're
Very
cool.
classy. Yeah, classy choice. Do you guys have anything big coming up this summer, or even later than that you want to chat about?
Playing this press play concert.
Yeah, you may have heard about this. Yeah,
It's gonna be pretty
Just a
exciting.
little thing, yeah. If you're cool, you'll come.
it's actually a fairly light summer for this
Yeah.
band. One of our steady gigs that we've had for quite a few years has sort of dried up a little bit. So we're in one of those transition periods where we'll find some new stuff, but it's a good excuse for us to go try playing other places and hunting out other gigs.
Or to hit the studio.
Or to hit the studio.
Oh.
Summer's a rough time for that, as you're
I'm
well
talking
aware.
about the fall.
Are the studios around here busy in the summertime?
No, we're all busy.
Oh,
Vinny's
gotcha.
playing 5 gigs a week, so
We'll probably just record at Eric's house. He has a bunch
Yeah, I
of
have
good stuff.
amateur studio in my place. So,
Nice, yeah. That's
yeah,
always
maybe
nice.
we'll do that in September. So
That's what I'm
maybe that
saying.
look forward to.
Well, thank you guys so much
Yeah,
for
thank
chatting
you.
with me
Yeah,
today. We're
thank you.
super excited to have you come by for press play. Yeah, awesome.
Thank you, Taylor.